This can be done quickly using a function. If we do it like this. My name is Akito Ninomiya, 30 years old. I'm the deputy editor at a news site run by an IT startup.
Ah, I see. Deputy editor Ninomiya's guidance is always so thorough and appreciated.
This is Hitona Manazuru, 24 years old. She's an editor who throws herself into her work. Surrounded by dedicated subordinates like Hitona, I was enjoying my work, but... Hey, isn't that harassment? It's tech harassment. Tech harassment? It's when someone who's good with technology takes advantage of it to assert dominance. This is Mento Haras, my colleague from sales who recently transferred to this editorial department. He's always shouting about harassment, and it's been a headache for me.
Stop it! You always say that, but Deputy Editor Ninomiya isn't actually harassing anyone.
No. If you pamper your subordinates like that, the boss will unknowingly hurt them. Be careful, Deputy Editor Ninomiya. Yeah, you're right. Things are pretty strict these days, so I'll make sure to update my knowledge. Satisfied with my answer, Mento returns to his seat.
Seriously, harassment, compliance. It's really a difficult world to live in now, isn't it?
I'm surprised to hear that from someone from your generation, Manazuru. I've been taking harassment training since I became deputy editor. I think I'm keeping up with the times. Mento's behavior feels a bit overboard. But maybe it's just because he's stuck in the environment we had when I was a rookie. What's this? You seem a bit down today. Yeah, work's been a bit, I spent the week brooding over my worries. By the weekend, I went out for my usual hobby, sea fishing, to clear my mind. I honestly told the captain about my worries with handling my subordinates. Well, if it were me, I would give them a love punch if they didn't listen to me. Fishing on the sea is no place for soft-hearted people. I know, but these days, even a little scolding is hard, so it's difficult. It's become such a difficult world to live in. It's really a shame. Things don't always get solved, but at least my mind felt lighter. And so, I started visiting more often, talking with the captain while fishing. Deputy Editor Ninomiya, do you have any tasks that might suit someone like me, who was in sales before? He said this while coming up to me one day, when I was working at my desk. By the way, forcing someone to enjoy their work is enjoyment harassment, or enhara. I'm not going to do that. Well, there are tasks like commissioning series or interview requests where I deal with people, but... That sounds good! Let me do it! Please don't make a big deal about it outside the company. Don't worry, I know my boundaries. Then, at least be more considerate with the people inside the company. Back when Mento was in sales, he used to accuse his former boss of harassment, creating an environment where no one could say anything, doing things his way. But I've never heard of him being rude to anyone outside the company. If I check in regularly, Mento's work won't slip through the cracks. Despite my lingering doubt, I convinced myself to trust him and assign him the work.
Sorry, I was a bit selfish.
A few days later, I went to an izakaya with Hitona, but one of the male subordinates joined us too. No, I'm actually happy. I don't get to treat my subordinates to meals as much anymore. When I tried inviting Mento for drinks before, people said it was alcohol harassment. So, I hesitate to invite my subordinates now.
Well, of course. If it were a bad boss's invitation, I'd refuse too. But if it's Deputy Editor Ninomiya, I'd gladly accept. I mean, it's just that harass is special. Most people in our department are like that. Basically, whenever harass opens his mouth, it's always harassment, harassment.
As she says this, Hitona gets more and more worked up.
Deputy Editor Ninomiya, you can't lose to that harassment guy. Yeah, I understand it's difficult with your position, but...
Right, there's a line between guidance and harassment, and we have to make sure it's clear.
That's something we learned in harassment training, right?
They taught us examples of what counts as harassment, but the details are still unclear. It seems like there's so much to keep up with these days. The harassment consultation department hasn't even gotten into the finer details. Lately, the term something harassment keeps popping up, so it seems like they are overwhelmed trying to deal with it.
It's pretty difficult, isn't it? But if Harass's actions were clearly too much, and I think Deputy Editor Ninomiya should handle it more firmly. You don't need to worry about the harassment consultation department or HR. If they say anything, we'll properly explain the situation and back you up.
At Hitona's words, another one of the employees nods strongly. Thank you both. You're right. I can't leave things uncertain about whether it's harassment or just guidance. I'll talk to people from other departments too, and I'll make an effort to improve the work environment in my own department. By the way, I've been thinking about this before, but you're really tolerant when it comes to guiding employees, Hitona.
Yeah, maybe it's because of my dad's influence. He was a tough person due to his profession. But my dad never got angry over unreasonable things, and he didn't force people down. In that way, maybe I'm a bit similar to Deputy Editor Ninomiya.
As we have this conversation, the drinking party ends. A few weeks pass, and there aren't many major problems in the editorial department. But, haven't you arranged it yet? Haras made a mistake. He completely forgot to arrange New Year's gifts to some of the contributing writers who have a regular column on the news site. You boasted about preparing the best New Year's gifts, knowing the best ones since you came from sales, right? But when I checked with you earlier, you said it's all arranged, and even showed me the receipts. I was planning to take care of it immediately after, but I got busy and ended up forgetting.
What's with that attitude? Essentially, you're saying you gave false progress reports to Vice Editor Ninomiya, right? You're causing trouble everywhere, so before making excuses, you should apologize first.
As I started making a scene, our surroundings began to fill with Hitona and the other staff members. It seemed like Mento got angry from the criticism and blurted out something outrageous. Well, in that case, let's just cancel their Lackluster series, shall we? What? That way, we won't have to send out any gifts, and we can cut down on expenses, right? I'm so smart. Maybe I should ask to transfer to the management planning department instead. His carefree attitude really triggered something inside me. How dare you say something like that, brushing off your own mistake, and then suggesting we cancel their series? Enough! I'll apologize to the contributors myself. What is this? Forced apology? Power harassment! I'll sue! Do whatever you want. If this company calls this power harassment, I'm done with them. I finished saying that, and Mento, looking disgruntled, stormed out of the editorial department. He probably ran off to file a complaint with the harassment consultation department. I had to make apologies over the phone to the contributors before Mento got back. Luckily, they were all understanding, and they accepted my apology.
It's been quite a disaster for you, hasn't it, Ninomiya?
The person I was talking to on the phone was a columnist I had worked with when I was an editor. She's a prominent personality on TV and the internet. I heard her express her opinions on a wide range of topics, from modern societal issues to entertainment and trends.
That's the current trend, isn't it?
What?
You know, it's something that's been all over social media lately.
I paused for a moment, trying to process what I had just heard. After talking with all the contributors and completing the gift arrangements, I was called to the harassment consultation department to confirm the matter Mento had filed a complaint about. I explained everything honestly, and the person in charge gave a wry smile, saying, "This is a difficult issue." Actually, I heard something interesting. A few days later, after work, on our way home, Mento approached Hitona. Hitona, would you like to go out with me sometime?
Why would I go with you, Mento?
I'm stressed out from the harassment by my boss. I need a break. You've been a good colleague, so join me for some fun.
I've told you a million times, Vice Editor Ninomiya isn't harassing anyone.
Hitona started walking away quickly, but then stopped as if a thought occurred to her. Huh? What's up, Hitona?
About the fun thing, if it's somewhere I chose, I'll go with you.
That weekend, Hitona took Mento to the harbor, where I often went for sea fishing. Hitona, why are we on a boat?
I've been on this boat since I was a kid. The sea breeze is really refreshing, and it's a great way to clear my mind.
As they were chatting, a man approached them. Hey, Hitona, is this the colleague you were talking about?
Yeah, that's him.
What's with this guy? Hitona, who's this?
This is the boatman of the ship, and also my father.
The boatman I had often interacted with during my fishing trips turned out to be Hitona's father. Hi, nice to meet you. I've always been in your care. There's no need to be formal. No need to greet me. By the way, today the sea is rough, and normally I wouldn't take passengers out in weather like this, but my daughter insisted, so you'll feel some rocking, but bear with it. Should we really be going out in this weather? It's just a little rough, but it's not unsafe. With that, Mento's wish was rejected, and the boat started speeding through the ocean. I feel sick, cold, scared. Help me!
What's that? Unhappy harassment?
Huh?
Unhappy harassment. That's a term for harassing someone with a bad attitude or sighing repeatedly to make them uncomfortable.
That's not true. I'm in real pain here.
Don't raise your voice like that. It's noise harassment.
Quit messing with me! At that moment, Mento's anger caused the boat to slow down and finally reached a fishing spot. We've arrived. The rougher the sea, the better the current. So it's a good chance to catch big fish that rarely bite. I don't want to be here anymore. I want to go back. Pathetic. Don't lump me in with this barbaric fisherman.
That's personality harassment.
This is strange. I'm sure I was saying something reasonable. No. Do you understand how your boss feels? Huh? Hitona turned to face Mento seriously.
Harassment isn't just about the victim's subjective feeling. It's not as simple as that. What you said to Vice Editor Ninomiya wasn't a reasonable opinion at all. In your case, Mento, you've been using harassment as an excuse to act however you want. That's disrespectful to the people who are actually suffering from harassment.
That's not true. I'm not an expert on harassment, but I can tell you this. In work, quitting halfway is not allowed, and you must take responsibility for your actions. Once you're out at sea, there's no place to escape. To make it back alive no matter what happens, strict rules are necessary. We fishermen have never thought of it as harassment. If you don't have that mindset, you'll lose your life on the open sea. This is another case where harassment can't be decided by one person's subjective opinion. We should broaden our perspective and think from multiple angles, but that's just the way things are in certain worlds, isn't it? I haven't said anything wrong. In the end, Mento never understood, and the boat returned to port. At the same time, a certain word began to trend on the internet. The first time I heard this word was during the incident where I forgot to handle the New Year's gifts. Harassment? Hara?
Yes, what your subordinate is doing seems to be exactly that.
From this conversation, I suggested to the harassment consultation department that we should consider hara. A few days after that, the word hara won the year-end buzzword award. Haras, the hara desk is calling you. Not long after that, Mento was called to the harassment consultation department's hara desk. Huh? Why is there a desk for that so soon after it became a trend? Well, I suggested setting it up before the award. And when the sales department asked for it, it was easy to implement. So, are you saying Vice Editor Ninomiya reported me for being harahara? It's quite shameful for a boss to enjoy harassing their subordinates like that. Harassment? Oh, that's exactly what you've been doing to me and the sales department's managers. What? It seems you think you can get away with anything just because you call it harassment. But I've decided I won't tolerate it anymore. If you want to have things your way, try using proper means. Though, I suppose you can only deceive people with cheap tricks, since you lack the ability to do it right. After that, Mento, instead of admitting his faults, kept repeating the bizarre excuse. There's no such thing as harahara harassment. Blaming me for being harahara is harahara harassment itself. This absurd excuse was quickly dismissed, and Mento was made to submit an official apology for both harahara and making false reports. Not accepting this punishment, Mento quit the company and found another job. But there, he repeated similar actions and was once again accused of harahara. Thanks to the year-end Buzzword Award, people's awareness for harahara changed drastically. Damn, this wasn't supposed to happen. What is harahara anyway? In the end, Mento was punished again at his new job, became a recluse, refused to go to work, and eventually disappeared. He was ultimately dismissed for misconduct. Meanwhile, I went sea fishing with Hitona. The winter sky was clear, and the waves were calm. There is a superstition that it's hard to catch fish on such days, but... got one!
Huh? Really?
After a long struggle, I caught a big sea bream. Whoa, so this is how you reeled in my daughter's heart?
Dad! What are you saying?
What kind of harassment would it be if I pressure you about my daughter? Laughing heartily, the boatman glanced at Hitona, whose face was completely red. It's fine, this isn't harassment or anything. There are many things in this world that are difficult to define, just like harassment. That's why we need to make sure we understand each action and align our perspectives. Hitona Manazuru, I've been drawn to your earnestness without even realizing it. If this turns into harassment, I'm sorry, but if there's a chance, will you be my girlfriend?
It won't be harassment. I've always liked you. Please go out with me.
What's necessary to live is not coercion or pressure, but mutual respect. As long as we can do that, we should be able to move forward together, even on a stormy sea. Actually, I have to work even on New Year's. You know, it's tough for someone who doesn't work for big company, huh? I'm on a long weekend, sorry.
Taichi-san, Ryo-san, welcome. What are you doing, Soya?
Department head? Soya's boss shows up, and his face immediately turns pale. Are these your clients?
These are Taichi-san and Ryo-san, who will be doing training today.
After the principal's words of praise, applause rang out through the gymnasium. I, Taichi Kawai, have always been proactive when it comes to academics, which might be why I was occasionally recognized at school and stood out more than other students. Most of my friends accepted me positively, but there were some students who didn't think highly of me. Don't get cocky just because you're good at studying. Soya Kawai, who went to the same elementary school, has always been at odds with me. By the way, you might have guessed from the last name, but Soya is my cousin, 1 year younger than me. I'm not getting cocky. Oh, by the way, I'm going to the library to do some research. Wanna come with me, Soya? Who would go with you? Despite living near each other, I never seemed to get along with Soya. And we ended up growing apart after I graduated from elementary school. The main reason we lost touch was that I took the entrance exam for junior high, while Soya went to the public school in our district. 20 years passed. I studied business management in college, and even studied abroad. Now at 32, I work at HR Training Co., a company focused on human resource development. Happy New Year, Dad, Mom! I look forward to another great year!
You're working on New Year's Day? You've been busy, haven't you? I don't want you to overdo it, but it makes me happy to see you so lively at work.
Every year, there's a request for training during the first 3 days of the year, so I had to work this year. I'm taking my long weekend after, so I'm good. Thanks for always supporting me. Since college, I've been interested in human resource development, which led me to decide to join the current company. My parents have always supported me warmly, and because of that, I've been able to keep moving toward my dreams. I'm really glad you're my parents. Well then, I'm off. I was living alone near my parents' house, and after greeting them for New Year's, I was planning to go to work. When I went out to the front door, I met my uncle's family, who had come to my parents' house for New Year's greetings.
Oh, Taichi! Happy New Year! Is that your work outfit? Are you working today too?
Yeah, actually, I have to work even on New Year's. You know, it's tough for someone who doesn't work for a big company, huh? I'm on a long weekend, sorry. Soya Kawaii said this with a cheerful look, completely indifferent to the situation. It was around 9 years ago that I started meeting him again after losing touch for a long time. He came to me with an overly happy face, saying he had gotten an offer from the big company, Shibuya Co., and tried to rub it in. Work on New Year's? I bet it's not even a big deal, right? You went to a good university, studied abroad, but it's such a waste of money. What are you saying? Taichi is a section chief, and we're grateful for how much he helps us with his salary.
You shouldn't mock people who work on national holidays. It's because of people like Taichi that we can live comfortably. And by the way, Taichi works at...
Yeah. Thanks for working hard for us, the upper class, Taichi. By the way, I just got promoted to section chief too, so if we are talking rank, I'm above you, Taichi. Hey, where are you going, Soya? I'm leaving. I've already achieved my goal. Soya's goal was to look down on me. Without greeting my parents, he left without saying anything. There's no such thing as upper or lower class for people. It's pitiful that he doesn't even understand what my aunt just said. Sorry, Taichi. Soya's always been rude to you.
Our education must have been bad. We really apologize.
No, uncle and aunt. It's not your fault. I always appreciated how you stood up for me. Ever since we were kids, uncle and aunt always warned Soya about his excessive behavior. And they apologized to me while having him apologize as well. If he still hasn't changed despite that, there might be no hope for him anymore. Uncle and aunt are complaining, and I smile wryly. I told him to come by to meet mom and dad. After that, I went to work.
Good morning, Section Chief Kawai.
Good morning, Rio. She's Rio Matsuyuki, my subordinate, 4 years younger than me. We're scheduled to do training together with a client during the New Year's break. By the way, Dio and I are the only ones working. The other employees are on vacation. I'm sorry, you were supposed to be off too.
No, I didn't have any plans, so it's fine. Also, when we finish this job and head into the long weekend, you'll go with me to the New Year's shrine visit, right?
Rio is also on a long weekend after the New Year's and hopes to go to the shrine with me after this job. Yeah, I promised, but is that really enough as thanks?
Yes, of course. I'm looking forward to it, so I'll work hard.
Rio smiles happily. Her expression is so cute that my heart skips a beat. Well then, let's get going. Did you memorize the materials and schedule for the training?
Yes, it's all set.
I forced myself to switch into work mode, and I headed to the client, Love Koiko, with Rio. Are you nervous? As we walk through the office district, I notice Rio's pace slowing down as we get closer to the client's office.
Yeah, that's right. Even though you're the main person in charge, I'm still not sure if I can handle it.
Dio had been in the planning department since she joined as a new graduate, but she transferred to the training department a few months ago. She's not used to visiting companies, so she must be feeling anxious. Don't worry, you were chosen as the section chief because you created many excellent training programs in the planning department. It's because you understood the client's needs and always worked hard to create valuable training for them. Your efforts will definitely pay off in these 3 days, and the employees of Love Koi will see it too.
Thank you.
Perhaps because of that conversation, Dio seemed to relax.
Yes, this type classification can serve as one indicator for how to approach other employees. For example, supporter types tend to accept requests even when they can't handle them, so it's better to check in on them regularly to make sure they're not overwhelmed. Controller types, on the other hand, prefer to be left to handle requests without interference. Of course, these are just tendencies, and if we make assumptions based on them, we might end up failing to communicate effectively.
She answered questions fluently from the participants, and over the course of these 3 days, her work had been that of a full-fledged instructor.
As usual, I'm grateful that you came to us during the New Year's break. It's difficult to gather all the employees for training, and I'm really sorry about that.
No, thank you for always requesting training from our company.
You have such motivated employees, and it really inspires us to do our best.
After the training during the New Year's break, the CEO of Love Koi praised us, and we were very grateful.
We'll be relying on HR training this year as well, so please continue to support us.
Meanwhile, Soya was, as a section chief, it's all about how you push your subordinates to work, you know? The key is the ability to make the unethical things look normal. That's what's important. This is the best, being able to enjoy yourself while earning more than regular employees. If you become a manager, it's like heaven. He proudly boasted about his wildly misguided ideas of management at a hostess club, making the hostesses snicker. A few days later, Dio and I had taken a slightly later New Year's break.
This shrine also had a big food stand during the first 3 days of the new year, but it seems like they've packed up already.
Yeah, compared to the lively New Year's visit, this scene feels a bit lonely. Noticing how down Rio seemed, I suggested with a wry smile, "There is a Japanese-style cafe nearby. Since we are done with the visit, would you like to stop by?"
Wow, this is amazing, so cute.
We went into the Japanese-style cafe, Tsukyote, and ordered matcha lattes with 3D latte art that Rio was excited about. I was happy that Rio was feeling better, but did I really need to order this too? Facing the overly cute drink, I, at the age of being called an older man by kids, felt a bit embarrassed. What's wrong? You think this kind of drink doesn't suit me?
No, that's not it. I'm just happy that you're doing so much for me, Section Chief Kawai. Thank you.
Well, it's a thank you for you working on New Year's Day. I couldn't just let you leave feeling down, could I?
That's part of it, but you've also helped me a lot when I joined the training department. I got promoted to section chief in the planning department, and while I stayed in the same position, I transferred to the training department. I wasn't experienced at actually conducting training, and I struggled with whether I should give up my position and go back to being a regular employee to learn from scratch. At that time, you told me you should have more confidence. And those words really saved me.
I thought you could become a great instructor because of all your hard work up until now. Just like people have different approaches, every company needs tailored training programs. The programs she plans are made in such a way that they perfectly meet the needs of each company. And even as someone conducting the training, I've learned so many effective methods from them. I've always dreamed of this job, so I've been studying hard for it. Even after starting work, I've kept reading papers and thinking about what kind of training would be effective. Even so, seeing the programs you've created, I realized that I still have a lot to learn. At the same time, I thought that together with you, we could aim for even greater heights. And now, Dio, you've grown to the point where you could stand alone as an instructor. So, I would be happy if you could continue supporting us in the training department.
Yes, of course. There's still so much I can learn from you, Section Chief Kawaii. Please teach me many things.
Yeah, I'll do whatever I can. And so, with renewed determination, we approached the work after the new year. A few months later, I was visiting a client with a heavy heart because I can't believe I'm doing a training session at Soya's company. I got my first training request from Shibuya Co. Apparently, there was word of mouth, and they eagerly requested our help. I hope nothing troublesome comes out of this.
Are you okay, Section Chief Kawaii? You've been looking troubled for a while now.
Sorry. It's just that my cousin, who I've never gotten along with, works at this company. I was briefly explaining the situation to Rio, who was accompanying me for the training session, when... Oh, Taichi? What are you doing here? Soya, the source of today's worry, has appeared. Our company isn't a place where people like you, who don't even have New Year's break, should be here. Weren't you from that something training company? You probably just sell learning materials or exercise equipment, right? Go home. Soya seems to be misunderstanding something. Just as I open my mouth to correct him...
Taichi-san, Ryo-san, welcome. What are you doing, Soya?
Department head? Soya's boss shows up, and his face immediately turns pale. Are these your clients?
These are Taichi-san and Ryo-san, who will be doing training today.
What?
What's with that reaction? You didn't disrespect them, did you?
Well, that's... No, it's just that he said some unpleasant things about the company we work for.
He told us, go home, and that's about it. Well, what a thing to say! HR Training is a specialist in training human resources for many major companies. Even the globally expanding major company Love Koi is one of their clients.
Huh? Yes, the company we visited during New Year's, Love Koi, is a globally famous corporation. When training employees at overseas locations, it's quite difficult to coordinate schedules. So every year they gather volunteers to conduct training during the New Year's holiday.
Especially since Taichi-san has experience studying management abroad, the quality of the training is excellent. That's why we specifically requested HR Training to send him. Soya, what were you thinking?
Damn, I didn't know Taichi was such an amazing guy. No, department head. He and I are cousins. Yes, that's true. But as professionals, we need to show respect.
You're right. I apologize for the discomfort caused by our employee.
Oh no, if you understand, that's enough for me. The training is about to start, so let's head to the venue. After the training at Shibuya Co was successfully completed, Dio and I stepped outside the company. Heh, don't get cocky just because you can do a little work. Soya's voice calling out to me with the same tone he used back in elementary school made me feel thoroughly exasperated. Mr. Soya Kawaii, despite everything that happened earlier, it seems you haven't learned anything. Shut up! No matter how good you're at work, the prestige of my company is still higher than yours. I don't think the place we work should determine our worth, but may I ask you something? The training we conducted today was for management-level employees. But I wonder why you didn't attend. On New Year's Day, Soya, you said you were promoted to section chief. Soya seemed clearly flustered at my observation. Well, it's because... As a rule, all management-level employees were supposed to attend, and that's what we were told. So, when we saw that you weren't at the venue, we asked your superior about it. Mr. Soya Kawaii, it seems you've never been promoted since joining the company.
For From what I understand, it looks like you lied to our Taichi Kawaii saying that you're a manager. Weren't you perhaps jealous of Taichi, who's both a section chief and skilled at his job?
What?
There are countless types of people in this world, each with their own characteristics. Perhaps you have something outstanding about you as well. But I think that's very different from the status you get by competing with others. Because honestly, I can only see that kind of status as worthless.
Soya didn't respond, only glaring at Rio with frustration. I let out a deep sigh internally, discarding the business persona. Soya, I don't care what you think about me or why you lied, but I do want to say one thing. As my aunt said, you shouldn't look down on people who don't work according to normal schedules. I've seen plenty of people who work during public holidays because of my job. They all work hard to satisfy their customers, making sure nothing goes wrong. Among them might be the employees who provide the services you casually use on holidays, or engineers maintaining servers used by your company. You have no right to mock their efforts by calling them employees with no New Year's holidays. You've been in the workforce for years now, and it's about time you stop thinking like a student and adjust your attitude.
Yeah, if you don't, you might end up alienating your company's clients.
Ugh. Soya didn't say anything more, leaving the scene. I and Dio headed back to the office. It seemed that our warning came too late. Soya had once talked about me in front of a client, boasting, "You know, I think only incompetent people work at companies that don't have New Year's breaks." He proudly said this, but it turned out that one of the client's affiliate companies had irregular holidays, so they complained. As a result, Soya was treated as a sidelined employee. Unable to accept this, or perhaps driven by ambition, Soya kept trying to take credit for his colleagues' work, only to be reported to his superiors every time, and then fired? His remarks toward us, combined with the second time he offended his client, led to him being fired. Despite receiving several disciplinary actions, his behavior didn't improve, and eventually, Soya was forced to leave Shibuya Co. Damn it! This company has a 2-day weekend, but I heard they have irregular holidays. I don't want to work here. I was hired by Shibuya Co., so I should be able to get a better job somewhere else with better conditions. I've said it before, but you shouldn't look down on people just because their work schedule doesn't follow the majority's calendar. Unable to understand this, Soya continued to be picky about his job opportunities, and he ended up without a new job. By the way, when my aunt and uncle found out about his dismissal, they were furious, and now Soya has to pay back money by the deadline. Meanwhile, Rio and I continued our work as training instructors, and privately, I confessed to her, and our relationship progressed. This year, during the first 3 days of New Year, the training for Love Koiko was handled by other employees, so both Rio and I were off.
Happy New Year. I look forward to working with you this year.
Dio and my parents get along well. I never imagined Daichi would have such a wonderful partner. They were so moved. Though it's late, thank you, Mom and Dad, as always. Because you've always believed in and respected me, I could work with no hesitation and take the job I have now. Thanks to you both, I can live with energy in my current job, and I also met Rio. I'd rather live a life where I show gratitude to everyone around me, rather than competing and seeing others as enemies. In the end, happiness is subjective, and comparing it to others won't change anything.
Daichi-san, let's have some sweet sake. Sweet sake.
I'm really glad I could see the smile this year. The words Happy New Year exist to celebrate others. So today, let's celebrate the fact that we've welcomed the new year with our precious people.